years, Los Angeles County has seen the consequences of failed leadership, not just in the Sheriff's Department, but across our local government. The rumors are true. I'm running again for Sheriff of Los Angeles County.
Former Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva throwing his hat back in the race, officially announcing his run for sheriff again in 2026. And he is pledging to restore the department to full strength, with nearly 25% of its workforce being gutted under current Sheriff Robert Luna. Former LA County Sheriff and candidate for 2026, Alex Villanueva, joins me now. Sheriff, good morning to you. So in May, you announced you're switching your party affiliation from Democrat to Republican, and now you are announcing that you are running for sheriff once again. So tell us why you want your old job back.
Well, all you got to do is look all around you in LA County, signs of lawlessness, despair. They've spent $500 million on overtime, most of it forced because of the depleted workforce. You have skeleton crews manning our patrol station, 13 suicide deaths among deputies, which is out of this world. And in fact, I said when I announced it that help is on the way, and I really mean that. We need to change our course. We need to change leadership and get back to what we're doing best, which is establish and assert law and order in LA County.
A lot going on when it comes to illegal immigration, including, we just were mentioning it, those LA riots, those anti-ICE riots that rocked Los Angeles just a short time ago. How would you handle working with the federal government when it comes to ICE detainers and getting criminal illegal immigrants out of the country? Current Sheriff Luna says that his hands are tied because he's working in a sanctuary city. How would you handle this?
Well, one thing, sanctuary city laws does not eliminate federal laws. So the federal government has the right and the duty to enforce immigration law. And there's an area where they can cooperate. There's 647,000 criminal aliens in the United States. By all means, let's get warrants on them and let's arrest them wherever they are, including in the LA County Jail. I think that degree of cooperation is necessary so both the federal government can do their job and local law enforcement can do their job, which is protect everybody.
Okay, so when it comes to crime, there was just a convicted felon who allegedly drove his car through a crowd of people in Los Angeles, and now he's facing 37 counts of attempted murder. Here's the part I want to talk to you about. He has 11 criminal cases ranging from misdemeanors to felonies since 2014 and was out of prison on parole at the time of the crash. Does something like that surprise you?
Not at all. You talk about Governor Newsom, you talk about the effects of George Gascon when he was a DA of LA County, and it was just a revolving door of all these people committing crimes, the catch and release program, zero bail schedule. All of these are policies that have harmed public safety. We need to get back to actually asserting the rule of law, holding people accountable, using the jail as it's intended. And then that's the way we can establish that civil society that we're seeing erode under our feet right now.
So the LAPD is projected to lose 150 officers by mid-2026, leading to a force of about 8,620 officers, the lowest since 1995. Why is that happening, and how would you fix that?
Well, one thing is I'm going to hire 2,000 deputies in 2 years. I hired 1,100 deputies in 1 year when I was in office, so I can do it again. The deputies and applicants to law enforcement have to trust the leadership of their agency. And right now, the leadership in law enforcement in LA cannot be trusted when they unjustly throw their own employees under the bus for political posturing. And that has to change right now. And I think we can do that. We can move in the right direction, which is supporting law enforcement instead of demonizing them.
What specifically is Sheriff Luna doing now as the sheriff in LA County that you would do differently?
Well, the hiring part alone is huge because if we're not hiring to replace the attrition as it's occurring, that means the department continues to shrink. Losing 25% of the workforce projected out 4 years, that'd be almost 50% of the workforce by 2028 when the Olympics come around. We cannot afford 4 more years of Luna. We need to start actually hiring and retaining the people that we have instead of getting them to retire too early because they're just tired of the status quo.
Karen Bass, the mayor, just took a victory lap when it comes to homelessness, saying that it has decreased in city of LA and LA County as well. Is that true? Are officials there chipping away at this issue?
Not at all. All they're doing is people are just being moved around LA County in different areas. They're counting success, and they're the one they're doing all the counting because they need to show some kind of success after spending billions of dollars in the homeless industrial complex. I'm not buying whatsoever. And every resident of LA County, all they have to do is look out the window and say, no, they're still here.
Well, LA just went from far-left George Gascon to a more moderate Nathan Hochman, so we will see if the time is now for you once again. 2026 LA County Sheriff candidate Alex Villanueva, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.